And we're back.
Hi, Johnny.
Back on the ship.
Emergency podcast.
Okay, so we're welcome. We're back. This is a podcast where we back each other up. Anyway, okay, so Andrew.
Yeah.
Here's why. So we're recording this early. So we are rescuing a new dog. And the kids do not know about it. And it's 6 o'clock. Me and Aaron are going to the park down the street to meet up with the lady, bring it home. We've already met, me and Aaron covertly met the dog. Greg has met this dog.
Okay, Greg.
So, they love each other. So I just figure we do this now as opposed to when we introduce them and then I'm like, all right, Aaron, you're on your own. I'm going in the basement. Keep the dogs quiet.
That's great. Good for you. Now, what kind of dog is this?
Some mix. It's like I don't know, terrier mix or I don't know. It's a rescue. Isn't that all you need to know?
Your excitement level plummeted. I asked one follow-up. You're like, we're getting a new dog for the kids, so we have to do a special. We have to get this out of the way because it's going to be so big a deal. And I asked one follow-up question, like, I don't know. It's a fucking dog.
Calm down. All right, I'll tell you. It's a mix. We don't know, but there's part pit bull in it.
Oh,
but
God.
there's a stigma
Yes.
to pit bulls.
Yeah.
And
so
because who was I asked someone else.
I wonder why pit bulls have a stigma to them. I wonder how that happened.
Well, I'll tell you what my wife told me. It's because people use them to dogfight.
Right. I wonder why do they use them to dogfight?
Because they're good at it.
Because they're lethal killing machines. They're not using poodle Malteses to dogfight. Although that would be very entertaining. They should do. All dog breeds should have to fight equally. None of them should fight. There should be
right. Let that be clear. The cavalry does not condone that.
But if we're gonna have dog fighting, I don't know why I did that. If we're gonna have dog fighting, then all breeds should have to participate, and they only fight each other. It would be unfair if the Poodle Maltese had.
Yeah, we're not looking for a Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight here.
No.
Have you seen those videos that show both of them when they were like?
That's so stupid.
Mike Tyson when he was 13, and they show Jake Paul and he's dancing to "Call Me Maybe."
I can't get enough of the like, who will Jake Paul fight next? And it's just the more and more infirmed.
It's like Yoda,
like Lou Gehrig, or like yeah. People who are actually dead. That's the same thing. It is like the people will argue about Jake Paul. Will get very serious about it. It's a touchy subject because I think it's an eternal argument over like perception and reality, and people who people who have the goods, who just do the work and are real and don't worry about, they let promotion handle itself, as opposed to people who maybe think, promotion's part of the game and that's part of life. And if you're good at that, that's like being as good as anything. So if you're someone like that, I think you get very defensive over Jake Paul, attacking him,
Yeah.
In a group chat. And I couldn't believe the amount of defense of Jake Paul. And my argument is just like, but then why doesn't he just fight like a boxer? Just like a guy who's been boxing. I'm sure there's boxers out there who would kill to fight Jake Paul, like real boxers his age who are like the champions. There's got to be like a champion of his weight class who would die to fight Jake Paul because of the money that they would receive. And in fact, it's kind of like awful that he doesn't fight.
I thought that he did. Like, this is news to me. I didn't know. Like, is he just like an influencer that wanted to box? I thought he had like fought like 50 some matches already, and he was.
I think he's had a lot of boxing matches. I think he fought, but like he's always fought like novelty fights. So like obviously Mike Tyson, but then he fought like old UFC fighters who never were like trained box. They do know how to box, but they weren't like boxing wasn't their main gig.
Yeah.
They were UFC
Oh, okay.
guys who couldn't wrestle. It's like stand up and improv or something. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that would always be my argument. It's just like, well, why doesn't he just box like the top guy, or well, not even the top guy, but just a guy who would probably get very rich from fighting Jake Paul, you know?
Do you think that it was fixed?
No. I mean,
No.
it's fixed in the sense that he fought a senior citizen, and that's what happened.
Right, but not that it was like a Pulp
I know
Fiction. Okay, you
those are
got to take a hit.
the only the only people dumber than the people who are like defending Jake Paul to me are the ones who are like, "Oh, it had to have been fixed. Mike Tyson would have killed him, but they just told him not to." Did you see the guy? Have you ever met a 60-year-old in your life? He could barely breathe. He was out there for
Uh,
2 rounds. He was about to fall over. He was just from being tired, not from getting punched.
so that,
It's
just he hadn't moved that much in that long.
ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous that someone that
That's
we
funny.
delude ourselves. We're so nostalgia pilled. Like you can tell, like our
Yeah,
movies are Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
yeah,
Star Wars, and Mike Tyson. Like we can't just move on to the new thing.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Yep.
it's sick,
Sad,
sad.
sad. It's sick.
How did we?
Overdoing it.
We're supposed to be talking about your dog.
Oh, because we were talking about fights and pit bulls.
Oh, right. Yeah. But
But
yeah, congratulations.
ironically,
Oh,
thank you. We met him uh Tuesday. What is today's Tuesday? I don't know, Thursday last week maybe. And the day, like earlier in the day when we were supposed to meet him, we got a text from the foster lady, that we're getting him from, and it was like, he was involved in another dog that we're fostering attacked him. He doesn't know how to fight. So
okay.
he's got like another dog's like scratching him. He's got like things
Uh,
here.
you know what he's got? He's
What?
got an origin story. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen any super villain movie ever? I know you're watching Penguin. You know how
Oh,
he's
I am watching Penguin. I'm 2 episodes in, by the way.
right. So they always have an origin story.
Yeah. Well, his is going to be
That's how he's more like
he's
his
a loving
predecessor.
family.
That's
He's
how he's more
adopted
like
by a
his
loving family.
predecessor, Batman, and not the Joker.
Right, right, right.
Uh, no, I'm sure he's a sweetheart. You might want to teach your kids like hand to hand.
Just
Get them
as a safety, man.
maybe get some bear spray around the house.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Well, good for you guys.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
send you video. I'll send you a picture. I'll fill your phone with horse shit.
Greg's just like, yeah, this is great. Wow, so exciting.
Yeah.
A new variable for me to worry about,
Yeah. So he'll be staying in the basement, right?
right? Not sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
Um, so you guys have you're just like a two-dog family.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the one keeping the floodgates back from it
From it
expand,
turning into a
I'm
real
lucky I got this
farm.
long with just the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Two dogs is a big. Like when you go
Yeah.
on trips, I
Yeah.
imagine it's hard to. Do you have like a go-to for that? Are you bored? Do you use a
We
board?
bored. Yeah. Bored, we bored Greg. And I said that too. I was like, well, I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But Aaron's like, well, now it'll be easier because they have each other and they'll keep them together. Okay.
Well,
Guess if I'm gonna
yeah.
spend
That
a weekend in jail, I'd like to be with a buddy, I suppose.
again, Greg's just like, oh, you guys are leaving with the scarred pit bull over here. Okay, great.
Well, it's funny.
Hey, do I
So,
want a gun?
well, he was left. He's a year and a half old,
He
and
was
he was just
abandoned.
left. He was abandoned. He was left in a cage outside. the front of, some rescue place in Alabama. They showed up and he was there with a bag of food. So they shipped him to Wisconsin, but his name, so the foster, I don't know if the rescue place or the foster family named him, but they named him Cobra. And we're like, that's changing. That's not it. And he's only had that name for less than a month. So it's not like we're
The
stealing
rescue
his
place named
identity.
it Cobra.
The, either them or the foster family.
Are they morons? Do they ever want
I
to
know.
get adopted? What are they crazy?
Are you trying to move dogs or not?
Hey, trust me. I know the pit bulls have this reputation, but Knuckles is so sweet. And I don't know if you want Knuckles or if
Or
you
blood lunch. We got Killer over here.
got, did you say bloodlust? Yeah,
Blood lunch.
blood lunch. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's well, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Be very cute, and that's a lot though. Two dogs. I see. I don't even like, but you have that massive backyard. I mean,
yeah.
everyone should have.
That'll be great.
You guys kind of owe it to the world to have.
I know.
You have so much acreage. You should have two dogs.
And when this dog came to like visit, he was running laps in
Oh,
our
he
backyard.
must have
Like it
lost
was
his mind.
great.
He's like, I can't believe
Yeah.
this is my life now.
And Greg was like, "Oh, finally, someone to
Yeah,
play with out here instead of just being let out and then the door shut."
yeah. Except
Yeah.
you said Cobra is from is from
That's
Alabama.
not his name. We'll call him Pillow. Call him
Wait, are you gonna let the
Sweet.
kids name him? Are you gonna let the kids name him?
Yeah, we gotta figure that out like tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Figure it out before Cobra takes hold.
No. We aren't even telling him that's what it used to be. We're
Acting,
just like, he doesn't have a name.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, but wait, what time? What year? What is it? It's November,
November.
so it's not quite snow and ice season yet.
Right, but it's cold. It's like gloves and hat weather
It's
at
gonna
school
be
for the
that's
kids.
gonna be a rude awakening for Cobra to run around
Yeah.
because he's from Alabama.
Yeah.
Whatever. Ah, I like it.
It'll be great.
Change, something to talk about. It'll give you good topics, I bet.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have been rooting for big. You should just be rooting for big life changes all the time. Like, hey, honey, what do you think? What if we move to France? Just to give us something to talk about.
Just some conversation
Hey,
fodder.
the podcast has been a little dry lately. What if we adopted a kid?
And then we give them back after
Yeah,
like
we
two
give it
months.
back because wait,
Yeah.
because I'm annoyed, and then that's
Yeah,
my
we got enough stories out of them.
why do these adopted kids cry so much?
You'd think they'd be like, "Thank you, thank you."
The whole agency is mad because I'm bringing them back.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I don't like them. What's your guys' return policy?
Yeah, yeah, but like you mentioned, okay, so I'm here. I'm out on the ocean on this cruise.
And
Uh,
you're on the which side? The east side or west side
yeah,
of
we're
the
on the
state?
Caribbean side. So we went to like, it's funny. This one goes down to the Panama Canal,
Yeah.
and but they don't go through. So it's just like to go see it. So they literally
Oh,
they go through all the stupid locks and they raise you
oh,
up, and then it
yeah.
takes like a half a day each way. And then you get in there, and then they just sat in the lake there, like the man-made sort of, and then we just turned around and went back. And it's
Wow.
like I think the Panama Canal is so cool. It's amazing, this feat of human engineering. But there's something about when you're not using it for like actual passage,
Right.
it feels very stupid. And you're like,
Cheapens it.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then you think
So
like when they built it, there's like, like 30,000 people died trying to build it, and because they all had malaria and all this stuff was going on, and took them 50 years or whatever it did. And they must have been like, but this will change the world, and it has. But then also it just feels very trivial for like, oh, click, and then you turn around. That was cool.
thousands of thousands of frat boys on Carnival Cruise
Yeah,
Lines will come take pictures with their phones.
I think no, you've got your demographics completely wrong. The Carnival frat boy cruise is not coming to the Panama Canal. This is the aging, see something before you die group.
Yeah. Frat boys just go to what? Miami?
They do the general rule of thumb, as someone unfortunately who does a lot of these, is that the shorter the cruise, the younger it gets. So like they do the 3 day ones, like you mentioned, out of Miami to like maybe one island and back, and then they're just
Yeah.
crazy apparently. But yeah, so that's where I am, and we're just because it is like I think I mentioned it before, but I was like, we got I did the Christmas lights and Christmas tree and everything all early before I left because it's like going to be
Yeah.
traveling so much between now and Christmas. And then Heidi FaceTimed me today, and she's like, the Christmas tree fell over. She was just putting the star on the top, and the whole thing
Oh,
tipped
oh,
over, broke a bunch of ornaments, and it was like an expensive trip. I was like, God damn it. And it's my own fault because I
no.
knew the stand. So you know how you like, it's one of those old, I mean, it's a kind
Yeah,
of
you got to screw them
plastic.
equally.
You screw them equally, but then you know how they have the little flat, so it's like a screw, but then on the front of it is there's like some sort of washer that's flat
Hmm.
that so there's more surface area. Well,
Yes.
somehow two out of the four screws had lost that washer. So the screw was hitting the tree, but there's no flat
Oh,
area to it. And it was only rated to be like a 6 foot stand, and our tree was definitely over 6 feet. But I was like, how does the stand know how tall the tree is? What business is that? The guy's like trying to sell me a new stand. I'm like, no, 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 pal. We got a stand.
nice try, buddy.
But it was like standing for like over a week. And then it
Oh,
just
that
tipped
sucks.
over right when she put the star on the top. And she's like, there was one wire that was showing that she didn't like the way it was showing. So she just moved that and then
She tipped the weight.
and so it's very but it is very like powerless feeling. It's like,
Yeah.
what do we do? We need a new stand or what? And you're like, well, I'm here on the Lido deck.
Let me
I could,
see if I can Google if Best Buy is open right now.
I could ask around. I could confirm for you that the stand we bought was shitty and that I knew there was two broken parts on it. But we have,
I was on with you, right? When our fridge broke and Aaron was like, the fridge
yeah.
is broken.
And you're like, all right.
Well, whatever you're gonna do, hurry, because it's thawing.
I,
Yeah.
but then our neighbors, we have good neighbors, and they came over and helped out. In fact, the neighbor next door had like an old
Oh,
Christmas tree stand that they don't use anymore. So it all worked out.
perfect.
It was
There
fine,
you go.
you know.
Beautiful.
But yeah, then you try to overcompensate. So I was like, on because we're always worried about the power going out because power goes out a lot in Oregon with all the trees and the windstorms and stuff. And so
Yeah.
I bought one of these solar generator things. So like if the power goes out, so I have that coming to the house. It's like, okay, I gotta like provide a little
Nice.
bit more.
Solar generator. So
Well,
just
it's
holds
like,
on to the energy and stores it.
yeah, you actually just charge it. You plug it into the wall and charge it. I'm not gonna use solar pan. So it will
Yeah,
last.
but can you use gas? It doesn't take
No, it
gas.
doesn't take gas. So, but it'll last. These batteries are huge, so it'll last for like 2 days or something.
Oh,
You
nice.
can run
Like
like,
it'll power your house for 2 days?
well, not the whole. It's got like 6 outlets and
Oh,
speed
yeah.
ports and stuff. So you can plug your fridge in. They said you can plug in like your TV,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
just enough stuff to keep you going. A lamp or a
Yeah.
space heater. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't get like the massive one, because I was like, I think you basically
How
need.
much is a generator?
Well, this one was like $300, 400. It was on
Oh, okay.
Black Friday deal, but they go up to like 3,000. Like you can
Wow.
get these massive ones that you just plug into your grid, and then
Yeah.
your just house works.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wasn't because and then I'm like, I'm not even sure that that would work with our electrical panel. And then I don't want to open up a whole nother can of beans about, well, actually, you need a guy to come and rewire this. And then you're like, oh, fucking
You got to
goddamn.
get a permit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they make these solar panels that go with it. So like if you ever were like camping or whatever, you can just bring the solar panels with you. You have the little thing, and then you charge it up, during the day. You
Huh.
can charge it. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Survive. I'm going to be a survivalist.
Yeah.
While I'm on a cruise.
Doomsdayer.
I'm not going to be a survivalist. My wife and child will survive while I'm comfortable on a cruise ship in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Ah,
But there's nothing worse than the power. The power being out is it's such a complete fallacy. Everyone was like, oh, it was fun. Like when you're a kid, it was fun.
yeah.
Not fun at all.
That's not fun as an adult, but as a kid, it's like, oh, all my limited responsibilities are gone, and now it's just playtime. But like as an adult, we're like,
Yeah,
what does this mean? All of our food that we bought is going to go bad. All this fucking,
yeah, yeah. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I went to Costco yesterday because we have, so you bought a generator.
yeah.
We realized our plastic Energizer flashlights are all broken. So at Costco, I bought some these heavy duty, high power. You turn this thing on, it's 5,000 lumens. This
Oh,
thing's it's brighter
hey Val.
than when the
Oh,
lights are
buddy.
all on.
5,000 lumens?
Yeah,
That's a lot of lumens.
that's a lot of lumens.
Uh,
Yeah, pretty sweet.
yeah, see, we don't have flashlights. I don't have any flashlights in the house.
Well, you don't need them. You just plug your lamp into the generator.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Or I just turn the phone flash. I use the phone flashlight.
Yeah, everyone's got that. Yeah, that'll get you. Yeah, there you go.
But my parents have these ones where you just stick them in an outlet, and so they're like always charged. And then if their power ever goes out, then they're already charged up.
What, the flashlights?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
they're always
Well,
sitting.
that's like the ones we have
My
too.
daughter just plays with them. Then she takes them and runs around the house with them and loses them, and they get all
Oh,
like, oh, where'd our flashlights go?
I see.
Yeah.
Uh, well, we're both victorious if we're switching to sports talk.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Seahawks came through for you. Just very,
Yes, they did.
just very happy to see that. And I got off the schneid. The
You got off the schneid. What does that mean?
well, I won. I'd been losing. You never heard
Is
that?
that a term that gets used?
Yeah, that's a term. Isn't that a term?
Is that like a sports guy term? I got off the schneid.
I don't know if that's a sports term specifically. That's like just a phrase. But when you're on a losing streak,
Okay,
you never heard that?
I've never heard that before.
I wonder if I made that up. I think that's a term. Anyway, I got off my losing streak.
Lovely. I was really hoping that
I,
the Rams would
yeah,
take it.
I know. You texted me. You were rooting. I didn't realize you were like actively rooting against me. You're already beating me so bad.
I know, but I need the security. I like to just kind of uh, relieve my stress to know, okay, I have a 4 point cushion. I still only have a 3 point cushion.
But I mean, that's 3 weeks worth of, you know what I mean? A lot would have to happen. I think you're going to win. Like you're the
Yeah.
heavy favorite, I believe.
I've already got my game. Since I asked for
Pick
us
the
to
game
record
already?
early, I was unprepared. I did not have a game, but I got on a snag the Packers Thanksgiving game against the Dolphins.
Oh, that's a good call because it's gonna be cold, right?
Yeah, it'll be cold. Yes. Well, the Packers, it looks like right now the Packers are favored 3.5 points. Do you want to go against me and take the Dolphins or go a different game?
I'm gonna go a different game because I don't trust the
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 Dolphins?
Dolphins, but I don't trust them in the cold. So
Yeah.
I don't love that game. I'm just looking at the slate now. See, this is the problem. I always pick them too quick. I kind of like the Seahawks again over the Jets at 2.5 is what I'm seeing. Ba, 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 ba.
Against the Jets? Ooh, against Aaron Rodgers. I love
Yeah,
that.
against your boy. But what I'm actually going to do, the one I like the most, I'm going to take the charge. I'm going to take the Chargers. They're at the Falcons, and I believe,
Chargers against Falcons,
yeah, and there it looks. I'm seeing it. Chargers are 1.5 point favorites.
and you're taking them.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
All
go.
right. The spread or the line is it's always a half a point, right? It's never an even number.
No, sometimes it's an even number.
So then what happens? You just get your money back, like if you bet at
Yeah,
Vegas.
they call it a push.
Oh, okay.
You get your money back, but I think you lose the
You lose the vig.
the yeah, big.
Is that a gambling term?
Look at you with your terms.
What is the vig? What does that mean?
Big, I think, is what you the is not that. It's like the well,
I'm
no,
not asking
you
what
know
it's not.
no, I think you're right. I actually don't know because I've heard it both ways. I've heard it like when you're watching The Sopranos, the vig is like the interest, on the
Yeah.
loan that they pay. But you're right. I have heard the vig in that terminology too, just the juice, like they call it the juice, or like what you're paying because the casino is going to take a little more on every bet,
Yeah.
you know, than just a 50-50. It's not like you bet $100, you win $200. You bet $100, you win like $197 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that the vig would be like that $3.
Huh. Oh, you know what is funny is I wrote this down to talk about because I had never thought about this, but our listener, it was Kevin Borngraby, shout out, longtime listener. Uh, he gets a real kick out of listening to us pick our picks, knowing the outcome of all these games.
Oh yeah.
I never thought about that.
What a stupid show we have. What
So
a
dumb.
dumb, pointless, stupid show. The whole idea of making the picks and then arguing about them is like people like in suspense and they're like totally
Yeah.
it never occurred to me.
Nah, me neither.
Well, we
We are dumb.
are dumb. Anything else before we get to topics? I know you're on a limited time scale.
Let's see. What do I have for topics? Did I tell you that Edie had a foot injury? Edie went to a
Huh.
slumber party, and I don't know, they were playing football or something in the back, ran, whatever. At the end of the night, Edie hurt their foot, and then and I was like, okay, was limping around the next day, and we're like, well, it's not broken because this would be a much bigger deal. But
Yeah.
wouldn't like go downstairs and get stuff and they're like, oh, it's so hard with my foot. Like, all right, kind of really milking this. But then was like, it really hurts. So I was like, "Ah, I gotta take him to the doctor. So I had to take him out of school, take him to the doctor, get examined, everything, they're like, nah, no breaks, no nothing. Had to get crutches and a boot, and Edie just stopped using them like a day later. Like it was not.
Wait, Edie got crutches and a boot, even though
Yeah,
there was nothing
because it
broken.
was like there was pain. I mean, it was probably like tendon pain, but it was like not. I think it was just like leftover.
So the doctor thought, let's just like these
Yeah,
immobile.
there may be whatever these tiny fractures. We'll have to come back to a follow up and see if they developed, but they did not develop, and the foot was fine.
Well, I'm sensitive to. So you're mad that you had to take your injured child
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I mean, I had my suspicions the whole time. I'm actually impressed because if I was 80s age and I was pulling that, I'd be like, they're taking me to the doctor. All right, the gig is up. It's just kind of annoying, but it's fine. Like Edie was like, no,
for
this
following.
might be something big. We're going through with this.
Well,
I'm
can I say something?
yes.
Good for Edie because I don't know. I've told this story probably before, but like I played it was like a turkey bowl football game. This is when I was older than Edie. I was like I might have been older than high school.
No.
Turkey bowl, like stupidly tackle football, which is insane to think about as a 40-year-old adult now. But just
Yeah.
going out, no warming up stretches, just a bunch of like semi-adults running
So
around.
you're like what, 20, you think?
Yeah, probably my, but yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Running around, like playing tackle football with no pads or anything for a couple
Yeah.
hours. And just imagine, like, how does that not end? Does that, can you imagine doing that now? How quickly you just
No.
go, oh, God, what the fuck? Like, how
Yeah. One play.
immediately.
Yeah.
Blows my mind to think about. Anyway, I did get injured and I got my finger pulled way back in somebody's jersey. And of course, I'm like, oh my God, I think I broke my finger, you know? And everybody
Yeah.
was like, no, no, come on, you know, I'm not going to use the words they use, but you would know. That was the big refrain. If you broke your finger, you wouldn't be able to talk to me. You wouldn't be like, I think I broke my finger. You would know if you broke your finger. So I didn't do anything for like months. And then I had
Yeah.
a big red swollen bump down here in my hand. And what had happened, so finally I went to the doctor and I mean nobody was telling me to go to the doctor. My even my mom who's a nurse, she's like, oh well, they're just gonna tell you to put ice on it, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
The tendon had snapped up here in my finger and
Yeah.
rolled down my hand and had balled up here in my hand.
Oh my God, that's
So
disgusting.
they said if you had come in right away, we could have pulled the tendon back up and reattached it. But because you've waited so long, the only thing we can really do is do a surgery right here. You can, I still have this like Harry Potter scar on my hand. You can't really see it.
Yeah. So what did they do? Just trim it?
Opened it up and they just pulled the tendon out that had been pulled off. And now my finger doesn't do this. I can't make this. This is as far as it goes. Useless. I can't make a
You
full.
just can't like do, well, I probably can't either. Can I do it?
No, you can, because you can do it with your other fingers, can't you? Yeah.
This.
See,
Yeah.
I can do that, but that finger sticks out. And that is because I was being a tough guy and I was listening to my dumb friends. And then if it was you in your case, my abusive father,
All right. My negligent father.
who didn't want me to go to the doctor.
Oh, wow. All
Ruined my
right.
piano, ruined my piano playing, ruined my bowling. I swear to God, I don't bowl as well as I used to. Something
Bowling. Let's see.
to do
Yeah,
with,
but you don't. Oh, yeah, because I guess you use these two for
yeah, but
bowling.
it's just like that. I feel it, you know, and then there's something about it that throws it off.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't really bowl that much for being
What was
honest.
the other one you said? Bowling and oh, piano. You can't play piano?
I mean, I think you know, I can still do it, but it's just not
You
as
have to take your other finger and push down on top of it to make it go.
trying to get that E flat stuff.
What
Uh,
about throwing a baseball? That doesn't really matter, right?
no, because you kind of like, I feel like you only use really three fingers to throw a baseball.
Yeah, that's a kind of a group effort with the other guys.
This was an observation I had. You know, in baseball, now you're a baseball guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. They call me a stitch head.
Pitch head Johnny.
Yeah.
They make such a big deal about like classifying you left-handed or right-handed in baseball, and I get it because like the matchups. So if you're a left-handed pitcher, they bring you in because it's when a left-handed batter is up because it's harder to hit a left-handed pitcher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But then that's fine. But then like when it comes to like Hall of Fame arguments or just when they talk about the greatest players ever, they go Sandy Koufax, he was the greatest left-handed pitcher, and it's like, who gives a shit if he was left-handed or right-handed if he was just good?
You're
That's
saying they should just say he was the greatest
either
pitcher.
one of the greatest hitters ever or the greatest pitchers ever, or you're not. You don't get to be
Yeah.
like this subset category. Like you're one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time. Like, no, you're just one of the. I don't care which side of the plate you did it from.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I told the story on when Duncan's first time tryouts, they do like a skill assessment where they're putting people on the teams and they're creating the teams. First time he did Little League, and he's
Yeah.
left-handed, and so like batting, I made him bat left-handed, but he bats right-handed. I just never realized it. And so he was like batting like he'd never picked up a bat in his life. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And
Think
they were like, oh, no, he's fine. He's fine. He's learning. I'm like, nah, that's not how he's ever done it before. I mean, we've done this. And then I had to have him like a couple other kids went. I was like, hey, can he do it again? Because I had him go the other way. He bats right-handed. And they're like, oh, sure, sure, terrible father.
well, no, that's good. See, then he'll learn he could be a switch hitter, and then he can that'll be good for him.
Yeah,
Uh,
love
okay.
a switch hitter.
Topic.
All right. Topic.
Topics.
You go first.
Okay, I will go first here, and I am ready for that and prepared because that's important to me to be.
Yeah, it's important for us to
Oh,
be on.
okay. So we're here. Let's just keep the sports thing going. So
Let's do it.
we were picking these games, against the spread, and a
Yep.
lot of times, and now there's this rise in sports gambling too, like online. Everybody, you can bet on your phone on these apps and stuff. So a lot of people are doing it. A lot more people are familiar with betting. And then the term degenerate gets thrown around. Like if you gamble all the time or you lose too much money or your family's money, you're a degenerate. And that always gets associated, I feel like, with sports gambling. But here's what I need backup. Those aren't the real degenerates. Okay. The real degenerates are someone who's playing a slot machine
Huh?
and knows what's happening. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, like the multi.
if you or I play a slot machine, we're just pressing the button and then waiting
Yeah.
for music or for
Waiting for lights.
or waiting for the numbers to go up in our like where how much money you have, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, obviously if I get like five, you know,
Cherries.
cavalry logos in a row,
Yeah.
did I tell you we licensed the show to a slot machine? No, but yeah,
There you go.
obviously if I get five cherries in a row, I know that's good, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like sometimes there'll be like a sun and a
Yep.
hero or nobody knows, and
You
then
got the tropical zigzag.
yeah, and then everything's going like this. You're like, oh shit, something good happened, or oh, isn't that good? And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on in a slot machine.
Yeah. So you're saying they're a degenerate, even if they're winning. Just the fact that
Yeah.
they know, that means they've
Oh,
sunk that much of their life into learning.
you've played that machine enough, or you've studied it that much. That person is a true degenerate.
I'll back that up.
I mean,
Sure.
you ever
Sure.
have you ever known what's going on at a slot? Like how many? You might.
No, the only ones are like if I go to the old fashioned one where it's like, oh, you get one pull, it's 50 cents and you lose.
Yeah, and if there's only three dice,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's cherry, star, and
Yeah. And it's not digital, it's actual wheels turning.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what I.
yeah, I'll back that up.
That's it. What do you need backup on,
All
John?
right. Okay. So the world seems to be turning to shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, why, why, this may get me in some hot water, but like, why are we motivated to keep humanity going forever, like past us? You know what I mean? Like, what if we just don't encourage? I'm not saying, oh, we have it where you can't have kids. You can have kids if you want, but we slowly make it where it's like, hey, that doesn't have to be the norm. That doesn't have to be the standard. You grow up, you have kids. A lot of people don't have kids, but we kind of make it like we're phasing ourselves out. You know,
Yeah.
we have been a scourge on this planet. We've done nothing but destruction to this planet. We're not asking anyone to die. We're not asking anyone to even not have kids. If you want to have kids, fine. You know, if you want them to be around, but we can, you know, we can just kind of pump the brakes on us keeping going.
Can I point something out? And I don't know what's going on in
Yeah.
your and maybe
What's
there's
up?
like a lot. It could be like world events. The last two topics, pretty dark.
What was the one last week?
Topic was I don't think we'll see, or I think you said, do you think we'll see the end? That this
That
that
was a discussion topic. That was not my topic. That was just a
yes, it
discussion
was
point.
because it was about how technology had
Oh,
peaked
that's right. Yeah, you've got mail. We peaked with you've got mail. That's right.
the end because of technology. We might see the end, and then
That's
this
right.
one is that we're all doomed, and so let's just. So what
Yeah.
you're saying that let's quit?
Well, I mean, I'm not super standing strong behind this, but I'm raising the question of like, why, why are we trying to keep humanity going beyond ourselves? I mean, what do I care if humanity's here in 500 years versus
Yeah,
10,000 years?
yeah, that's a great question. Like, why do we care?
I mean, I think a lot of us don't care. There are a lot of people that I
A
think
lot of people.
don't care, but they act like they care and they
Well,
get
I think
elected
I do.
pretending to care, but they just care about themselves.
When you say that, I find myself going, no, like I'm rooting for society to still be here in 500 years and be better, you know. I don't know why. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like examine why. I guess
I
because
guess that's my question is
yeah,
why.
it's like a team thing. Like you're like, I've invested in this, you know. I've bought in a little bit about like, nah, we're human beings. We're pretty good. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've done some stuff, you know. We could
Yeah.
turn it around. Why can't we turn it around? We had a couple bad seasons there, but
Couple hiccups.
yeah. Here's what I think about technology because you're like you're saying it's gone to shit, but also in a lot of ways, technology has made like people live longer now. That
Yeah.
the planet has suffered, obviously, but like my thing with technology is you never know when you're about to like turn the corner on it either. Like, because you could say like, oh, we're polluting, we're polluting, we're polluting, and every time we make an advancement, it just makes things worse. But it could just
Yeah.
be that next thing, like,
Could
and
clean the water.
then you get the machine that just cleans everything up and puts the world back to the right temperature, and you know what I mean? Maybe we're
You
just
know, that sounds like the talk of a degenerate. That sounds like the talk of a guy that's that's betting one more advance. That's the one that's going to get us to turn the corner.
that's you're so right. That's such addict talk. This last parlay. Someone finally
Yeah.
like, okay, Andrew, we're gonna bail you out. Here's the 50,000. Pay off your
Yeah.
just go back to work. Just one more bet.
I
Yeah,
got I've got a good life. I'm
here's
not complaining about life. What were you going to say?
my counter argument to that is that you're saying it's already like it's bad news, right? The future it seems bleak to you. So
Sure. It
so
just seems very fragile. It seems very fragile.
so it's like there's probably no turning the dial back,
You can't put the genie back.
right? There's no like, hey, whoa, 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 we went too far. Let's go back to like 1860s or 1970s or whatever.
Or whatever year you've got mail came out. Right.
Yeah, 1990s.
Yeah.
But so that's why you really have only one choice. You can either cruise and not do advancement from here, or you're pot committed and you go, the only way out is through. And you just keep powering through like AI, save us, go to Mars,
Yeah.
like all this shit is just like, I guess that's just going to be the way out, is just to keep advancing. You know what? I think part of it too is like, it feels exhausting because you're like, if we ever aren't advancing as society or, especially in the United States, with like capitalism, you know, if the company's not growing, if you're not
Yeah.
becoming profitable every year, then you're dying, right?
Right. Right.
And that feels like unsustainable.
Yes.
It's worked this long.
Yeah.
So
And also there's also that like everyone always says, oh, every generation says this. Every, we thought the world was ending when, fucking whoever got elected, or, this, we've heard it all before. It's cyclical. Am I just falling for that? Well, this feels different.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's impossible to say because you're right. Every generation was like, looked at cars when before cars, they're like, this is it. This is over. This is going to be,
Yeah.
or they looked at, you know, women playing sports or, or whatever it is, you know,
Yeah.
that they're like, that's it. That's the end. Interracial marriage, they thought that would be the end of society. Like there's so many things like that over the years people have looked at
Yeah.
and gone, well, it's over. So I think, and well, it might just be we're getting old.
Speaking of cars, you ever think about like every year, every car manufacturer makes a fuck ton of cars, like
Yeah.
the new model. Where where are the old ones go? Like, how is our planet just not a fucking big car
Yeah.
pit, you know?
Well, they must be. I will say that about cars. Yeah, you don't see like just a big landfill full of cars,
Right. They
right?
crush them. They crush them into little squares
Yeah. So they do a pretty good job with that. They like crush them up, and they get.
every year. And that's a lot of cars every year.
But how many brand new cars are they selling every year? I don't think
I
it's
don't know. I mean,
most.
even if it's 50,000, I mean,
But most
right? I
people
don't,
buy cars is like a bad example because most people buy used. Most people I know buy a used car. You,
yeah, but the used cars were new at some point.
I know, but I'm just saying, of all the products we buy, there's no product we buy used more than cars.
Yeah, okay.
You don't buy used almost anything else. Clothes, maybe
Yeah,
people, but
yeah.
most people buy new clothes. Like, what else do you buy used?
Houses.
Houses.
Ugh.
Yeah, gross. Ugh,
Got someone else's boogers on these walls.
this house is used.
This house is used.
Somebody had sex in here.
Ugh.
Uh, yeah. So actually, I think that's a good point. But except for I'm going to go the opposite way. I think we do a pretty good job recycling cars because, and then whenever you get like in a big car accident, they're like, "Oh, it's totaled. We're just gonna like scrap it for parts." So even then, they're like taking the parts and selling them to somebody who needs the parts. We don't do that with.
Are they doing that? Are enough cars going away? Are they going away at the same rate as the plants are cranking them out? I mean, people have a job where their job is to make cars, and they go to work every fucking day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay. So here's your assignment. Google like who sells the most cars now? Tesla or Ford? I don't know.
Oh,
Google
let's see.
how many cars. We've never done this before, but I'm just actually curious. How many brand new cars a year do they sell?
Toyota is the largest car manufacturer by sales,
Okay,
selling over selling over 10.8 million vehicles in 2023 alone.
but is that all new, or does that include used?
That's car manufacturer. I don't know. God damn it. They don't. I don't know.
Well,
What do you want me to ask it?
who cares?
I'm already bored.
Bored. Topic sucks.
God, what a dumb. That wasn't even my topic. My
Oh,
topic is that we should all die off.
how do the cars? Where do the cars go? I don't fucking know. To the car ferry. No, I
You
would.
know what the important thing is? We have fun.
Yeah. Of all the trash out there, of all the products that we throw in the ocean and seem to get wasted, cars don't seem to be one of them. Whatever they're doing with them, they're going somewhere nice and discreet.
Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of pictures of turtles with cars sticking out of their noses.
No, not just like a gear shifter coming out of a pelican's ass.
But yeah, you're right. We're doing all right. We're gonna be okay.
Down on the planet. No, I'm more of an optimist. I'm, you know what? I refuse to be a pessimist in the second Trump era. I'm going to be an optimist. I think we're going to.
Yeah. I thought about like people because there's someone like someone in Aaron's family as like a cousin is like, we're moving, we're moving to, they're leaving the country and then they are moving. That's why I thought about it. I was like, okay, everyone thinks about that, talks about it at election time. But let's say you do that. You'd say you're like, fuck it, I'm out. This is bullshit. That's not my president. And you move and then he just goes back to, just swings the other way.
And you're
And then
like,
it's like, well, we're coming back. No, 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 no. You bailed on us. You stay out there.
or I always think like, yeah, America, we've proven to be susceptible to a con man and a strong man, and we've fallen for this thing, and this it's kind of sucks. But who's to say some other country isn't? It's not like we're the first country to have this happen. What if you move to
Yeah.
France or Germany? They've
Yeah.
through it over the years. You might be just keep switching teams. It's like when you're merging lanes in traffic. You're like, oh, that lane's moving, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
you're stuck, and the lane you want
Yeah.
moving again. That's what switching countries is like. You don't know which.
Yeah. You're a fair weather fan.
Yeah, yeah, you got to write it out. Join the
All right.
resistance.
What?
Join the resistance. I said. Did I?
Amen. Should
Uh,
we plug our dates?
yeah, plug some dates.
I will be at the Milwaukee Improv tomorrow night, which is last week, according to the listeners. So that's not good. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to plug Comedy on State, 26th through 28th of December, and then
Jealous.
New Year's Eve.
Jealous.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna be December. I forgot to do this last time, but Albuquerque or no, Santa Fe, New Mexico. At the I just wrote New Mexico gig in my phone, so it's gonna be the December 27th, 28th, and 29th at a casino in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So if you live in Santa Fe, just Google it or something.
You probably know the gig. Yeah.
Probably know where the show is. And then Laughs Comedy Club in Seattle, January 3rd and 4th. Those
Is
are,
that, is that affiliated with Laughs in Tucson?
yeah,
Okay.
believe it or not,
There's
two.
more than one Laughs comedy club.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that it was sort of a parallel thinking kind of thing.
Yeah.
They both came up with it independently somehow.
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
All right,
That's
folks.
it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the
To the cavalry.